Thank you, General Robinson, Admiral Tidd, for your appearance and continued service. Admiral Tidd, the President announced at the State of the Union address that we would once again be moving detainees where appropriate to Guantanamo Bay. That falls under your authority. Could you tell us a little bit more about that plan and what you have in store for the facilities there?
As has been the case, our responsibility is to ensure the safe, secure, legal detention of law of war detainees. I'm highly confident that we have been doing that, and we will continue to do that. You know, we have 41 detainees who are there right now. We're prepared to receive more should they be directed to us. As of today, we have not been given a warning order that new detainees might be heading in our direction, but our responsibility will be to integrate them in effectively into that mission.
And what about the facilities there and your personnel rotation plans?
Thanks to the generosity, obviously, of Congress and spearheaded by this committee, we appreciate the support for barracks that are capable of withstanding the environmental conditions of the Caribbean region, especially during storm season. We look forward, once the money is handed, to be able to start construction on those barracks. I can anticipate, although I don't have a plan for you today, there are a variety of buildings that were temporary in nature when they were put up that have deteriorated beyond their useful life. We will be taking a hard look and prioritizing those buildings that will need to be replaced with facilities capable of withstanding the environmental conditions in Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, thank you. Let's turn our attention to the South. You've already spoken with a couple senators about the situation in Venezuela, which is rapidly deteriorating under the brutal Maduro dictatorship. Could you talk to me about the implication it has for Colombian security, and especially the impact it could have in the Colombian elections coming up?
Yes, Senator, thanks. Because of the significant number of Venezuelans, over 500,000 and continuing to rise, Venezuelans who have come across the border into Colombia, overwhelming their social support infrastructure, Colombia has I think, a grave concern. They are also beginning to see, and this is based on conversations with my Colombian partners, they're very concerned that there are a large number of Venezuelans who are being pushed across the border, that are being encouraged to vote in elections. They have dual citizenship as Colombia and Venezuela, and there's some concern that that may skew the elections that will be very critical taking place this spring and summer in Colombia. So it's a matter of security concern to Colombia, but those security concerns, I think, are largely shared by Brazil. Numbers are not as great yet, but it's beginning to overwhelm the states that are directly across the border from Venezuela. And we're seeing it affecting other countries across the region. So the humanitarian disaster is in progress, and our partners are very concerned about it.
Okay, thank you, Admiral Tidd. General Robinson, I want to ask you about a story that was in the news recently, the use by service members of smart exercise devices, for instance, Fitbits or smartwatches, particularly overseas, but you obviously, underneath your authorities, have a lot of sensitive sites here in the United States. Can you tell us what steps, if any, NORTHCOM has started to take to address this security risk?
So, sir, Senator, thanks for that. I would tell you, as I watch and I work through the service chiefs and to see what they're doing, you know, while I worry about force protection in all of the installations, I work it through the service chiefs, so I'm paying attention to the steps that they're taking to make sure I understand, to ensure that I can implement anything that they need me to do.
And you feel comfortable at this point with what the services are pursuing?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Thank you both for your testimony and for your service.